And if you're in the top bracket, it's probably because you realize that knowing the water and the feeding habits of your quarry can give you a big advantage. Good tackle and an accurate cast can count heavily in your favor, too. Our anglers wade cautiously now, dropping lures where the wily smallmouth may lie in wait. And it's Larry who scores first and meets our first big jumper.
Welcome to the channel and a trip back in time, folks. We got a great outdoor TV classic for you today. I'm Alan Warren, former TV host and lifelong lover of the great outdoors and of the good old days. Thank you for being here. If you are not yet subscribed to the channel, let me tell you why I hope you will. This channel has been a dream of mine for more than 30 years. To bring back to life some of the greatest fishing and hunting TV shows and films from yesteryear ever made. Where folks like you, like me, most of us, I guess, north of 60 years old, remember that the times we spent on the water, the times we spent out in the field were some of our very best memories, right? Memories that, memories of days gone by. Well, over the years, I have acquired hundreds, many hundreds of these old shows and films that are, to me, just incredible. From people who were heroes and legends to many of us today. Sadly, all those folks are gone. But memories of those shows don't have to be. Now, to be totally honest, I have started this Outdoor TV Classics project many, many times. But work and life got in the way. It did. Luckily, today I'm pretty much retired and I have the time and resources to actually get the project started for real and hopefully to keep it going. But here's the deal. YouTube says that until we get 2,000 subscribers and at least 4,000 hours of total watch time from folks like you, the channel can't be monetized. So it really is a real labor of love, an expensive labor of love. But with your help getting us to what YouTube is requiring, well, we're hoping to bring you hundreds of classic shows and films, live streams, special guests, and a whole lot more. My hope is to create great outdoor TV, just like we had in yesteryear, and a weekly tradition here on the Outdoor TV Classics. So won't you help us by hitting the subscribe button, liking this video, and if you would, drop a comment down below. I read every single one of them. Right now, let's get started with today's Outdoor TV Classic.
Sportsman everywhere, I'm Jim Thomas. Right now we're going after the elusive and fighting smallmouth bass. There'll be an exciting upland game bird hunt with pointers and setters. Then it's king salmon in Alaska, so stand by, please.
Outdoor Classics with Jim Thomas. The most exciting fishing and hunting action on television for over 40 years. Come along with us now as we travel the globe and experience fabulous fishing and hunting the way you want it to be.
Nice to have you with us. You know, we do lots of talking on this program about largemouth bass, and rightfully so, because it is one great fighter. But there's another member of the bass family that cannot be overlooked, and that's the smallmouth bass. Ever catch one? Well, if you haven't, then you've missed out on one great angling adventure. Come along with us. We'll show you why. Yes, meet Larry Keelan, one of Michigan's top anglers, particularly when it comes to smallmouth bass. Today he's going to give some pointers to his companion Clyde Rickard on how to take this freshwater battler. Clyde is fishing Lake St. Clair for the very first time, and what with that light tackle involved, he could be in for some spectacular action. In a parade of sheltered inlets in these Great Lakes, hungry bass are on the prowl. The best time to fish for the wary smallmouth in this part of the country is early summer. At this time of the year here in Michigan, the smallmouth are always eager and willing to slam onto your offering. There are lots of minnows milling around the edge of the reef beds, and it's possible for the enterprising angler to wade most of the area. And certainly light tackle is the order of the day. Believe you me, when you latch onto a fighting smallmouth on this ultralight stuff, you'll really have something to write home about. And now in waist-high waders, our anglers are all set to go. Larry the veteran, and Clyde his eager pupil.
to wait, Clyde, is that these bass are up in the shallow water. It's feeding on minnows, and they're very spooky. And this way we can get a lot closer to them without scaring them.
It's like a good way to sneak up on them.
It's a good idea in here, too, Clyde, to wear Polaroids, because sometimes you can see the bass before they see you, and that helps an awful lot.
I'm
glad the bait in front of them.
Glad you suggested we bring them along. Should I go down here and work the right?
You try the right, and I'll head down to the left. How's that?
It is often said that 10% of the fishermen catch 90% of the fish. And if you're in the top bracket, it's probably because you realize that knowing the water and the feeding habits of your quarry can give you a big advantage. Good tackle and an accurate cast can count heavily in your favor, too. Our anglers wade cautiously now, dropping lures where the wily smallmouth may lie in wait. And it's Larry who scores first and meets our first big jumper. As the day wears on, Larry finds bass with cast after cast, while partner Clyde is getting little more than lots of sun and exercise. So it's time for a little helpful advice.
Difficulty?
No difficulty. I just think you have all the holes staked out here, Larry, and I can't find them.
Try up along that edge there.
Right out there?
A few minnows surfacing there a little while ago. These bass, you know, they don't always. You're a little bit too far to the left. You better take another cast. Get a little close, right to the edge there. They don't always grab that bait real hard, you know. Sometimes they nibble, and whenever you feel anything at that lure, why you
right over there to the right
away. Yeah, right there. That's a good cast. That's a good cast. Okay, real slow retrieve. Hey, here, now you got one. You got one now.
There's a good fish.
You don't need
There's a big one.
You don't need any
finally.
help. I think I'm going to go out there and catch my
I told you you had
fish.
the whole staked
See you
out.
later.
Real good.
The bass get the message, too, and the rest of the day is a parade of big jumpers for both anglers. Often, two at a time. Miles north of St. Clair, the George River bullies its way across the subarctic tundra of Quebec. And among the many finny trophies found up here is the Atlantic salmon, a true battler of both fresh and salt water. He comes into fresh water from the sea, full of fight, and there enterprising anglers await him with fly rods. Unlike their Pacific cousins, the Atlantic salmon will return to the sea after spawning to come back another year. Big streamer flies are effective in the fast waters of the George. Rods should be sturdy and reels well filled with backing to the fly line. While the salmon takes no food in his freshwater journey, he'll often strike at a fly, invading the privacy of his pool. And the sudden shocking power of this big jumper is a sight to behold. You marvel at the strength of the fish that has gone endless days without food in the long, long journey from the sea. And gingerly, you lead him to shore, rod held high to cushion that unexpected jump. And in the shallows, a fellow angler readies the net. The salmon leads slowly, but then abruptly spurts toward deeper water in a final futile effort, turning immediately to the relentless pressure of the rod. Once the net enfolds your prize, you begin to breathe again, more or less normally. What a day, huh? We'll be back in a couple of minutes. There's no thrill in all the outdoors that can compare with the one experienced by a gunner walking up on a couple of well-trained pointers or setters, staunch on point. Wow! Yes, dogs and hunting go together like ham and eggs. But regardless which breed of canine companion you desire, he must have one important quality, and that is obedience. This comes only through long hours of training. The instinct to hunt are there. They merely need to be brought out by a competent trainer. Now let's take some of the more popular breeds that are known today. The English Setter is one, the Irish Setter and the Gordon Setter, the German Shorthair, the German Wire-haired, the Brittany Spaniel, the Weimaraners, and the Visualist. One of the big jobs is to teach any of these breeds self-discipline. The dog must learn that he is not to rush in and fetch the bird, but instead remain on point until the hunter has a chance to come in, flush the bird, and shoot it. Then he's given the fetch command. If the right man is teaching the dog, eventually, regardless of breed, it will show championship form. However, there are exceptions when the hunter wants his dog to flush the birds on command. What about retrieving? Most dogs, by natural instinct, love to retrieve. Once again, obedience is the most important factor, even in this phase of a dog's training. Retrieving a bird is most important because many birds that might otherwise be lost are found by a good bird dog who knows how to retrieve. It's an excellent conservation practice because 90% of crippled birds that elude the hunter eventually die. During field trials, of course, the dogs are not requested to retrieve. Points are being given for their ability to locate the birds. Hold on point while the trainer or judge comes in to flush them. The prairie chicken, incidentally, presents a rather difficult assignment for any good bird dog. He's wary and he's smart, and it takes a better than average breed with lots of training behind him to hold these gamesters of the West. But the real test of the dog's value, either from a field trial standpoint or an actual hunting standpoint, is based upon his obedience. To be able to restrain himself while the bird he is pointing is flushed. The mark of a great champion is that he hardly moves a muscle. The handlers and trainers of these fine animals see to it that their charges are cared for when lunchtime rolls around before themselves. Nothing is more beautiful than to watch a well-trained bird dog staunch on point, not a muscle moving, patiently awaiting his master. And when the day of a particular field trial or hunt ends, congratulations all around are well deserved. Probably no more beautiful bird exists than the ringneck pheasant. His elusiveness and his ability to test the knowledge of any bird dog make him a prize among sportsmen all over the country. And when this gaudy old ringneck takes a notion to elude all pursuers, both dog and gunner have a real chore cut out for themselves. Yes, sir, to say the least, the old ringneck is a wily quarry. Hens usually hold better than the cocks, but both use the same tricks as the prairie chicken. The range of the pheasant is greater than either the quail or the ruffed grouse. Suddenly, the word point is heard. And if it's a field trial, both judges in the gallery come forward to witness this dog's performance. The question on everyone's mind is, if he has birds, and will he hold properly? One of the most difficult targets of them all is the ruffed grouse. And he's also pretty tough on dogs, be they pointers, setters, or some of the other breeds we mentioned. Another challenge to both gunner and dog is the bobwhite quail. However, it's generally agreed that he'll hold better than the pheasant, prairie chicken, or ruffed grouse. But anyway, regardless which breed of pointing dog you prefer, we wish you all the very best of luck. What more can I say, except we'll be right back. I always get a big kick out of watching youngsters hunting and fishing. Man, they really take their sport seriously, but one of the best examples of truly bulldog persistence I ever saw took place way up on the Anchor River in Alaska many years ago when a young 12-year-old boy tangled with a huge king salmon on light tackle, and neither the boy nor the salmon knew when to say uncle. Here we are, pals, slam bang in the heart of record salmon country on the banks of the Anchor River. But can they really be as big as you've been told? No, impossible. Or could they? No, it can't be. Well, that guy can hardly tote those monsters. Wow, the heck with breakfast. A man can eat any time. Let's head for that river on the double. Man, we're really going to nail him today, but 2 hours later and not a hit. Well, how do you like that? Why, that king is almost as big as a small fry captor. Why is it that he can take him and we can't? After all, we're the experts, or are we? But this young sportsman has the advantage because he's fished the Anchor River ever since he can remember. And fishing is not necessarily a matter of technique with this youngster. It's just a matter of putting meat in the family pot. And from the looks of the size of his prize, it's going to fill a mighty big pot, too. Our experts are curious as to why this lucky young angler isn't taking advantage of his streak of good luck. But it would seem that he just lost his hook on another big salmon, and since he doesn't have another, that's all for today. But like all fellas, a man or a boy meets out on the stream, this expert offers a helping hand. Pick out what you want, son. We'll get to fishing again. Well, here's one for the book. This kid is going to fish the exact spot our experts plugged for 2 hours without success. He's baiting his newly acquired hook with a big chunk of salmon eggs. And like a veteran, he makes his first cast. And whammo, he's tied into a king that's going crazy. Hang on to your seats and just watch this battle between a youthful outdoorsman, not yet in his teens, and a wary old battling king salmon who knows every trick in the book and then some. sir, from the moment these experts gave this boy a hook, they had themselves a fishing partner. And from what he's done so far, these fellows could do a lot worse. He knows that stretch of the river and the habits of the big salmon like his newly acquired adult companions know their own backyards. And now the experts get a taste of a big king on the other end of the line, and boy, oh boy, what a thrill it is, too. This is certainly worth a trip to Alaska in anybody's book. And when it comes to raising a fish for eating purposes, a fat, bright, fresh-run king is top on any man's totem pole. Yes, sir, there's nothing like a beautiful pink salmon steak to whet the appetite of even the most particular. You've never lived until you eat a good, thick chunk fried in butter. Man, oh man, this is really living. Well, a man's got to take advantage of fishing like this while the opportunity presents itself, and the next morning we find our experts heading straight for that hot spot, but somebody beat them to it. Yes, sir, it's their little pal, right out there after him again. And every time you look at him, he looks more like the Alaskan version of Huckleberry Finn. But there's one thing for sure, this kid or any other kid anywhere on the face of the earth presents no problem to his parents while fraternizing with Mother Nature in this manner. Our experts, both of whom realize that to encourage today's youth in outdoor sports builds better leaders for tomorrow, present their young companion with a brand spanking new glass rod. And needless to say, you're now looking at the happiest small fry sportsman in all of Alaska. Well, our experts are back at it again. Hey, that's no way to land a 20-pound salmon, my friend. But like all good sportsmen, these two anglers take only what they can eat and return the rest so they can live to fight another day. It's difficult for this youngster to understand this because up in his part of the country, they fish for food and can all excess fish in preparation for the long, tough winters. Well, another day, another salmon, and what a whopper he is. Looks like angler number 2 is all tied up. These fish have tremendous pulling power. Add to that the pressure of the swift waters rushing about your feet, and you've really got your hands full. Oh, shucks. Well, you can't catch them all, fella. Anyhow, there are plenty more where he came from. Sometimes the fisher is bigger than the fisherman. Hang on, boy. Don't let a little thing like a ducking throw you. Ah, good for you, my friend. You certainly showed him who was master. I'd say that fish was worth all you went through, too. And so was that one. Man, what fishing. Yes, vacations may come and vacations may go, and there'll be lots more, but 5 will get you 10 that these experts will never forget their salmon expedition on the Anchor River, and most of all, the young Alaskan sportsman. No matter how long I shall live, I'll never forget that adventure and the great and fond memories it represents. Be right back. Have an idea, folks. Next time you plan a local fishing trip, why don't you take one of the little neighborhood kids with you? They'll love you for it, and you'll be happy too. That's it for now. We hope you enjoyed the program as much as we did bringing it to you. Remember, enjoy our great outdoors, but please don't leave your good manners at home. Until next time, Jim Thomas saying so long, best of luck to you all.
Hey, it's Alan Warren. If this outdoor TV classic stirred up a memory, please share it with us in the comments and give the video give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe and make sure you turn your notifications to all. That way you'll never miss a ride on the Outdoor TV Classics Time Machine. I'll see you every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central.